Supergirl is based on Tom King and Bilquis Evely's acclaimed Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic miniseries, and it arrives with a very specific tonal identity. Guardians of the Galaxy's offbeat humor, the Mad Max series' gritty kinetic energy, and a genre register closer to True Grit if it was a space opera than to anything we typically associate with a superhero origin story. Director Craig Gillespie handles these elements with a confident looseness that serves the material well, and it creates something genuinely distinct within the growing DC universe. The film introduces Kara almost exactly where Superman left her, after she drunkenly crashed the Fortress of Solitude to retrieve her equally superpowered dog, Krypto, and it picks up with her celebrating her 23rd birthday, somewhere in the galaxy under a red sun, with the grim dedication of someone who has been running from herself for a long time. She is the anti-Superman. Where Clark is earnest, purposeful, and possessed of an uncomplicated relationship to doing good, Kara is cynical, self destructive, and genuinely uncertain whether any of it matters. Milly Alcock is the film's defining achievement. She already demonstrated her talent to genre fans in her work in House of the Dragon, and here she brings it to bear on a character whose central challenge is that she resists being read. Her heroism costs her something. It's not yet accompanied by the belief that it's worth what it costs. Alcock makes this legible in every single scene without ever needing to explain it, which is the harder and more impressive achievement. She's superb at giving Kara likable depth while maintaining an unpredictability that keeps you watching. The film's most successful creative decision is the pairing of Kara and Ruthie. Ruthie, played by Eve Ridley, is seeking revenge on the brigands who murdered her parents. She is, in some respects, the character Kara might have been if she had channeled her grief differently. Focused, purposeful, and consumed by a righteous anger that gives her existence direction. Watching Kara navigate her relationship with this girl who needs her, and who also, in her clarity of purpose, implicitly challenges everything about how Kara has been living, gives Alcock the emotional terrain the film needs her to cover. Their dynamic is the film's beating heart. Jason Momoa's debut as Lobo is a small but perfectly calibrated piece of casting. The gonzo cosmic space biker fits his energy, and the film is wise enough to use him sparingly. A taste rather than a full portion. The anticipation his introduction generates for this character's future is considerable. David Corenswet's Superman appears in a handful of scenes, and each one does exactly what it needs to do, cementing his place in this universe while demonstrating through contrast exactly what distinguishes Kara from her cousin. Clark's uncomplicated goodness reads differently next to Kara's wariness. The family resemblance is visible, the differences are more interesting. The film does have real weaknesses worth naming. Matthias Schoenaerts' Krem is perhaps the most significant, a villain who never quite materializes into a genuine threat on screen. A more fully realized antagonist would have given the stakes a sharper edge. Krypto is still charming, but he's underused, essentially sidelined once his poisoning has served its narrative purpose. But these are manageable limitations, and they don't derail what the film fundamentally achieves. Supergirl isn't the best release of James Gunn's new DCU, but it is something more valuable in the context of franchise building. It's a film that makes you genuinely curious about its protagonist's future. The DCU that Gunn is building, with Superman as its foundation, Peacemaker as a tonal experiment, and Supergirl as its first genuine expansion into the wider cosmos, before Lanterns gives us a better idea of what's out there later this summer, is developing a coherence and an identity that becomes increasingly intriguing with each new release. Each entry has been distinct without feeling disconnected, and each one has felt like a choice rather than a calculation. And with Milly Alcock now fully established as one of the more compelling new presences in superhero cinema, a performer who makes every scene feel like it could go somewhere unexpected, the future of this DC universe looks genuinely exciting. She's not going anywhere, and the DCU is better for it. Supergirl is in theaters now, so let me know in the comments. Has Milly Alcock won you over as Supergirl? And which DCU project are you most excited for next? And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Fandom Frontline for more deep dives into the stories that shape our fandom.